make it a better place. It'll take creation.
Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings. Welcome to my video today, you guys. It is Memory Keeping Friday, but I said earlier this week that I was in a card making mood, so I was just gonna make cards all week. I'm in desperate need of some cards for my stash, and I thought it would be a perfect week to do so. This is going to be a longer video because I'm doing a shaker card and I'm not good at shaker cards. So we're going to fumble through this. This is for the Global Design Project website. There is a card sketch today. So let me pop that card sketch in here for you guys. That's the card sketch. And at first I wasn't going to do it, but then because I thought it was too simple. And I had just done a circle card for you guys earlier this week where we did this card. So this is the card we did earlier this week, and I thought, well, I just did a circle card. But then I decided that I would want to make a shaker card. So we're also going to use the Fox and Friends stamp set and the punch. And so there's a lot of steps, and it's going to be a longer video as I fumble my way through this, you guys. So to start out, I've done some things. I've prepped some things already. So the first thing is that I have a basic gray, this is a smoky slate piece of cardstock. We're going to start with some layers. I'm going to zoom in a little more to get this shaker card started. So then this is from the Foxy, let's see, this is a little Foxy designer stack. And I've really used this. I've cut into it and used so much of it. It's a great stack. It has all these great designs, and it coordinates with Calypso Coral, Pool Party, Smoky Slate, and Whisper White. So then a couple other colors that you can put with it is Mint Macaroon, Basic Gray, Basic Black. So it has some great colors that can go with it. So here's our card base. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so this is the card base, and then it will go onto a plain white piece of cardstock. Okay, so then this piece right here is going to be our shaker piece, and my circle is a little bit off-centered. It's not exactly in the center, but I think it's going to work out okay. So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to take 2 pieces of acetate. I do my shaker cards a little bit different, I think, than maybe other people do because I'm not great at them. Here's another square piece. So I start off. Now we have our piece of acetate down, so that's covered. Okay, so that's the first step. And it'll be fine, okay? So then we're gonna set this other piece aside because we'll use that at the end, okay? So now I'm gonna use this foam. I talked about this foam in my last video and I linked to it. I get it on Amazon and I'm a Prime member. I get it for $9.99 and it comes like the next day basically, which is rare for where I live. I usually don't get things in 2 days. But what you're going to do, and I talked about how this was Christina Warner's tip, you just pinch that together and then you cut it. And that is what I'm going to do. And back. And then that's going to make it super easy to manipulate around the circle. So you just twist it. The circle's super easy. Okay, so now you have the piece where all of your shaker pieces are gonna go. So the next thing we're gonna do is just take a powder tool. I put it all over the acetate and then all around the circle where it's going to be sticky. That way my items, and I'm gonna coordinate it with the color I'm using. So I'm going to use quite a few. I store my sequins in this item right here. This is an item I got from Walmart. I got it in the beading section. So you just go back to where they sell the beading and they have these containers. The reason I got these is because all of the little circle pieces, they pull out and then they have a lid. Then you're going to just want to make sure none of your sequins stuck to your tape. There's one right there. You're going to flatten that out, make sure everything's on there. Then this is where I take another clear piece and I stick that right over my piece that has all my shaker. And this way, the reason I do this is because I am not great at lining something up this way. I really need to flip this piece over and layer it. And so then I just put a little bit of snail adhesive on my piece of acetate. We're gonna flip this over and now we can layer this. We're gonna get to stamping in just a minute. So now what I've done is the circle, I used my layering circle framelits. I have a PDF on my website that you can print out that has all the measurements to your layering circle framelits. So what I did is I ran this through my Big Shot using one of the layers. Then I created this layer by just using one of the layering items, which is part of the fun. You get 16 framelits in that piece, in that framelit set. But really, when you think about how you can make these frames, it really almost doubles the pieces you get, because you are using those same framelits to create these little frames. So I just used some liquid adhesive and I put that frame around the circle. You have to kind of press it. I like it to be right up on the edge, so then you have something that looks like this. Now I have a few more pieces I've prepped, and then we're gonna do some stamping. First, I have this piece that says Sunshine. So this is from the framelits that go with this stamp set. I've used these before. I'll stick a card right up here where I've used the framelits and the stamp set together. So this stamp set we're going to use for a sentiment, but then I've also used the framelits to go ahead and do that sunshine. So now for these pieces, we're gonna do a frame. I know that this video is long, you guys. I still have all the stamping to do. But shaker cards are usually longer for me. I'm not great at them. So we're just creating, yeah, this side will be good, flags, and I've just used some of that pattern paper. These two are going to go right on here. They're going to layer on here like this, okay? And they're going to hang off a little bit. My sunshine is going to go right under this. So I want to stamp with basic black. I want to stamp... Do I already have it on a block? Yes. I want to stamp "You Are My," and then the die cut will say Sunshine. Piece, and then the face on the next. So this was a little bit difficult for me to figure out as well. I did punch this out. Like, I just put my punch in a piece of paper and put it in here so that I could know how to stamp. Like, when you stamp this little dude right here, if you stamp it like this, okay, and then you try to stick it in here, it's not going to work because it's upside down. So you have to stamp it the other way. It has to be stamped this way so that when you turn it around like that, and then you turn it around to put in here, then it's gonna punch. So it's a little bit weird, and you just have to play around with it. Just have a little bit of extra paper to play around with, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're using Calypso Coral. And see, this is going to go in here like this, and we need the body first, so it's going to be stamped basically upside down. I like to put my punch in front of me when I'm stamping, and then I can refer back and forth to the punch and then what I'm stamping. So we're going to stamp the dude right here, the little dude, and we're going to, when we stamp him and we punch him, it's okay. It's going to kind of get messy. You're gonna have a lot of extra pieces. You can flip them over And then when you punch, it's going to punch some of his little face off. You can pull your punch together before it punches, like just clamp it down, but don't punch all the way through. And that's how you can line things up a little bit better. You can move it around. So then you'll punch. It takes 2 hands for me to punch. So put that aside, clean out your punch, grab another piece of scrap paper, and now we're going to do the face. So now we're going to just ink it up again using Calypso Coral. This is going to go into the punch this way. Ink, stamp. Okay, so then I got to cut. I stamped too far up. Do the same thing. So see, I'm going to have to still cut some off. You're going to cut some of the body off. That's okay. So those pieces are done. Okay, so now let's finish putting the card together. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit. Okay, so here's the card. Now I want this little guy to be sitting right here on our flag. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the tail, and what I realized I had to do was make the tail kind of at a little bit more of an angle maybe than, so this tail is going to go right back here, and I just made it so where it's stuck up a little bit more than probably what I would normally, like normally you might want it to go out a little bit more, but because this is going to be sitting right on the edge of the card, we need it to go ahead and stick up a little more. So then his little face is going to go right here, but we're going to save the face for the very end. So now let's go ahead and put this down. Just like that. So then he's going to go on there. So now that completes your shaker card. The very last thing you're going to do, well, you could do 2 more things. I'll show you. We're going to add this to a card base. I'm using my ATG adhesive because I really want this to stick down. It's pretty heavy with all the sequins and stamping that we've done and layered on there. Okay, so now it's on a card base, so it opens up. The last thing that you could do if you really wanted to would be to put some glossy accents or crystal effects right here on your little fox or whichever animal you decide to punch out and do on there. That would look good. I did that one. Well, I had one that I did that, but I've lost it. I've lost a lot of things on my desk right now. It's a mess. I'm not great at these shaker cards, you guys. So then it says, "You are my sunshine." You can open that up. It's pretty heavy, but with all the foam tape we put on there, it's pretty sturdy. Even if it gets smashed down a little bit, if you send it through the mail, should be okay. So I loved doing this, you guys. I love doing shaker cards. I just don't always do them because they're quite time consuming and I'm not great at them. I feel like I don't put them together gracefully. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I will be back next week and I'll be back on schedule. I'll be sharing some Project Life items with you guys next week. So thanks so much, guys, and I hope
Thank
you
you
have a
guys so
wonderful
much
day.
for hanging out with me today. I'm sorry this video was so choppy. This video was extra long, and so the editing was a little bit of a nightmare. So I'm sorry about that. I would love for you guys to head over to my website and check out the really funny story about this card. It happened after I filmed the video, so I'd love for you guys to go over there And remember Team Tina for this card. Head over there and check that out. And then I have 2 other videos for you guys. One is another shaker card. It is the butterfly shaker card right there. And then I have my Erin Condren 2016-2017 Life Planner review video. So you guys can check that out. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I'll be back next week with more projects for you guys. Have a great weekend, guys.